Welcome, everyone. It's a pleasure to welcome back Paul Sallaway from Optics Digital. Thanks so much for joining us, Paul.
Yeah, hi Lee. Glad to be back again.
So today we're talking a bit about the being found locally on Google, and it'd be great to have a chat to you about we as visitors we tend to jump on different websites. We maybe use our phone. We're trying to find somewhere near us to
Mm,
maybe we've got a service that we're trying to look up, and we bring up our phones and type it in, and there's a clear ranking of different businesses who come up first.
mm,
So, Paul, could you talk to us a bit about that, and
mm.
what is search engine optimization?
Right. Yep. Great. Yeah. Well, that's a good question. Um, I think we're all familiar with how search engines work. You search on a key phrase, and Google gives you a list of results. Um, so there's a joke in the SEO industry that if you're going to murder someone, the place where you want to put the body is on page 2 of Google, because nobody ever looks there, right? Um, so page 1 of the search results just get pretty much all of the hits, and even within that, there's a really big disproportionate number that go to the first 3 places. Um, so so because this is effectively like free traffic that you're getting to your website, potentially free business that you're getting, um, there's a lot of thought and energy and effort that goes into trying to rank in those top 3 places. Um, so and I think that the way that people go about that is it starts with thinking of what is Google and what is their business model. So so their business model is all about is all about matching requests for information to what's going to offer the best user experience. And so if they can do that successfully, and they have been doing it successfully for what, 25 years or so, so they're going to keep people coming back, and then they can make money by selling them ads, etc., etc. So that's their whole business model. Um, so I said best user experience, and I think that maybe I should just expand on what that means, or what I mean by user experience. So usually, like, we're looking for information. So they want to match us. They want to match us with the results that offer the best answers to that information, the best answers to the query, the search query. But there are also other factors that they take into consideration as well. Like, does the website load fast? Does it is it formatted properly on a mobile screen? There's a bunch of other things as well. So search engine optimization, I guess, is this concept that by adjusting our page, by adjusting our website, we can get our site to rank better in the Google search results, and thereby get free business, I guess. So that's in essence what search engine optimization is all about. And I think we should also just mention that the way local search works is kind of unique in its own way as well. So, like, when I talk about local search, I'm saying if I was to search for, like, Chinese restaurant near me, like I did this week, well, first of all, it's going to give me some ads, but then after that, typically it gives you a little map of the local area. We call that the local pack, or the map pack, and it's going to have 3 or maybe 4 local businesses within that map pack. And that's a really huge local search opportunity right there, if you can get your business to appear in that map pack. And then below that, you've got all the other, like, organic results, 1 to 10, and so on. So when we're trying to optimize our business through SEO, our target is really to try to appear in that map pack, um, to a lesser extent on, like, Google, the full Google Map results, because if you click through, there's also like a list of ten businesses that will appear on the full size map version. and also in the organic results as well. So we're trying to get our business to rank well in all of those places, really by understanding how Google's algorithm works and trying to adjust adjust our website accordingly. That's what SEO is all about.
And sometimes there'll be ads in the search results, and sometimes there may not be.
Yeah, that's right. So that's how Google makes 80% of their huge profits every year is through selling ads to businesses. So if I want my business to appear at the top of the Google search results, I've really got two choices. So one is I can work on search engine optimization, SEO, and try and figure out how to get my site to rank well within Google's algorithm. That's one way. Or if I don't want to do that, the other option is just to pay them, just to pay to get my business listed at the top for a certain set of keywords, and that's a valid strategy as well. It just really depends on what your budget is, what your goals are, that sort of thing. So yeah, whether you go through the organic results or the paid results route.
Sure. And as far as the return on the investment with the paid results, as soon as you stop paying Google, you don't appear anymore in the search results. Is that right?
You won't appear in the paid listings. No, that's right. So it's like a faucet. It's like a tap. As soon as you stop paying Google, the tap's turned off. You don't appear there anymore. So it really depends, like what your expectations are. I think you could make an argument that it's good to adopt both strategies, to go with
Yeah.
organic and paid ads. It's not like a binary choice necessarily. So the paid ads, you are going to need to put a little more money into it, but you will start to see results pretty quickly, because those ads which list your business are going to appear right away. Whereas SEO is a little bit more of a longer game. It can take a few weeks, a few months even, to really sort of see results from that. So yeah, so those are the options that you have when it comes to getting traffic from Google.
Yeah, fantastic. And if we've implemented some of these simple tweaks in our website, like you mentioned last week, about how we can optimize the number of people who, once they're on our website, that they actually go ahead and make an appointment, then we're making use of both of the traffic sources.
That's right. Yeah. So particularly with the paid listings, you control where people come to on your site after they click on that link. So it's best practice to have like a dedicated page that you send people to. For example, if you're running an ads campaign around I don't know, like pediatric eye care or something like that, and if you're on a Google text ad that speaks to that particular service, then you want to direct people to a landing page that just talks about that service, just talks about pediatric eye care, has a very clear call to action. Click here, make an appointment. We can start helping you take care of your child, that sort of thing. So yeah, so you want to really get a good connection between the ads and the landing page, so that it's all just seamless. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, fantastic. And so if we think back to the search engine optimization, what are some factors that go into how our website ranks in the Google results?
Yeah. Well, there's a lot. I mean, I think Google's algorithm has like 190 different factors or something that actually contribute. It's like Kentucky Fried Chicken. It's their secret blend of herbs and spices. And nobody knows actually 100% what those are or what the weightings are, but over time, just through tests that people have done, there's some pretty good understanding of what those are. So I'll break it down actually into two parts. The first part is to talk about your map results. Okay, the local pack, those three or four businesses that appear next to them, the little mini map, and you'll have your like your star ratings and how many reviews you've got. All of that. So one of the like big factors that determines whether or not you appear in that local pack is proximity. Actually, like proximity to where someone is searching from. So, like if somebody was to search for, say, let's say, for example, optometrists in Toowoomba, okay. So it's Google's going to assume that you want to know about practices that are in the center of the city. So as if you're like on the outskirts of the city, then you're going to have a harder time than somebody who's located in the center of that search area. Okay, so that's one aspect of it. But if you are like, let's say you're in the outskirts of Toowoomba and you were to search for optometrists near me, then it's going to know that you want someone it's going to know that you're looking for a practice that's physically close to your location, and Google knows from like satellite GPS and all that where you are. So that factor of proximity actually is quite important. But aside from that, there are other things that we can do to optimize your Google Maps listing. So one is the Google business profile. Okay, so Google wants every business to fill out some information about themselves, about like their business name, their like their address, their phone number, and that's called a Google business profile, and it uses a lot of that information for the map results. So I think that what you should be doing is making sure all of that information is correct. Okay, making sure that the address is correct, making sure the phone number is correct, make sure your store opening hours are correct. Make sure that it's consistent with other references across the web. Like if your own website, okay, has that information on it, you've got to make sure that it's consistent. Something like having an FAQ section on your Google business profile, that can help as well. The Google business profile has a section for you to list the services you provide, to list the products that you offer. So if you've got like a range of designer sunglasses or designer frames, then that's an ideal place to mention them. Okay, so it may help your Google rankings in the map packs, but it's something that sticks out if somebody sees your listing, and it's going to increase the likelihood of somebody clicking through to learn more about you as well. So there's that. So that's the local map pack for the more like traditional organic search results. I think relevance of content is obviously really important. So like if somebody's if somebody's searching for dry eye treatment, they don't want to be sent to a page that talks about myopia. So having content that is going to answer the common queries that people have, I think that's a really fundamental SEO strategy. So I think that start with the keywords that you want to target. Like you should have a very clear understanding of what keywords are going to be the ones that drive people to your website, right? What sort of searches are people making? What sort of information are people looking for? And then try to create relevant content around that. So that's a really important strategy. On top of that, things like make sure your pages load fast. Talk to your webmaster, talk to your developers. Unfortunately, a lot of people use cheap hosts, which means that cheap web hosts, which means that their pages load slowly because the web hosts are just underpowered for the job at hand. Make sure you've got an SSL certificate. So an SSL certificate. So if you've ever noticed, in your browser window right up the top, you'll see a little padlock. Okay, and that just means that that traffic communication between your website and the user's browser, that's encrypted. Um, and fortunately, most people have that. But in my research, I still found that about 9% of websites don't have an SSL certificate, and Google, doesn't like that. So you are going to be penalized if you don't have that. And even more than that, I think on some browsers, if a user comes to that URL, they get this kind of like scary message that appears saying, this site might be fraud or something, and people are just going to bounce out of there right away. So so make sure you talk to your developer about getting an SSL certificate for your site if you don't have one. Most hosting providers actually give you one for free these days. Is there anything broken on your site? Like, do you have broken links? Again, Google doesn't like websites if you're sending people off to destinations that just don't exist anymore. So check your site, make sure there's nothing broken on there, make sure there are no broken lists or broken links, and yeah. So I think those are just. I mean, I could go on and on, but those are some of the things that you can do to improve the way that your site ranks in the Google search results.
Yeah, yeah, excellent. And these are things that are accessible that anyone can log in now and check on their website.
Yeah, that's right. And I mean, even another thing that's important to Google is recency. Okay, so they want to reward sites that are updated frequently, like sites that where it's apparent that there's like an active business presence behind it that cares about the business, that cares about the website. And so they want to reward sites when there's content that's updated, content that's fresh content that's being added all the time. So if you have a if you have a discipline in place of like adding new articles to your site, new photos, even, Google will reward you for that as well, and that's something that's easy to do if you've got a content management system like WordPress or something similar.
Yeah, great. Yeah, good to keep it up to date for sure.
Yeah.
And Paul, how important are reviews and star ratings to helping to improve our local search results?
Yeah. Well, I saved the best to last. I think reviews and star ratings are very important, and I think we talked a little bit about that in our first interview about how you can use email campaigns to actually encourage your patients to leave you reviews. It's important in a couple of ways. Like, one is it is a ranking factor in the local map results. So you will do better in those local map results if you've got a good number of reviews, and if you've got strong ratings like 4.5 or higher. That's a strong result. So I think that sort of like the rule of thumb is you want to have at least 20 reviews in there, but the more the better. So it's a ranking factor, but even beyond that, like think about it yourself. Like if you're looking to try a new service, if all things being equal, if one site's got 200 reviews and a positive star rating, and another site's got 5 reviews, well, you're probably going to pick the one with 200 reviews, aren't you? So I think getting reviews and boosting your average star ratings are good, both in a ranking sense and also in a conversion optimization sense as well. Like you're more likely to get the click. You're more likely to get people come through to your website or the Google Business Profile if they see all of those reviews and positive ratings. And I'll just say as well that I think that something that's going to come to Australia in the next couple of years, and I'm pretty sure about this, is a new feature of Google called local service ads. They already have them in America, not for every industry. I know they have them for dentists now in America, and they're kind of like slowly rolling them out. But something called Google Local Service Ads, and what it's going to be is that they're going to really emphasize this is at the top of the screen. You're going to have ads with like a green check mark or a green badge and a check mark approved by Google, which is
Right.
like really, really, really strong social proof right there. And it's going to have your reviews, the number of reviews, and your average star rating. That's going to be like front and center. And I think that this is going to be a bit of a game changer when it comes out here. And I think that the reason behind this is that Google is trying to they're trying to integrate more subjective human experiences into their search results. And I think this is probably from the threat that AI poses to their business. They're looking more and more to leverage like human beings' experience of like of interacting with businesses. Like if I'm searching for like best Chinese restaurant near me. I mean, what do you mean by best? Is it cheapest? Is it best service? Is it most delicious food? What is it? So that's where they're going to leverage people's feedback and people's subjective experiences more and more. I feel over time. So building up your reviews now, building up your star ratings. This is a way that you can really future-proof your business now, before these local service ads sort of roll out worldwide.
Sure. And you mentioned we can email patients to ask them to leave a review for us. Do you feel like there's a trend of when's the best time to send out an email or a text message to encourage patients to leave a review?
Yeah, I think you got to kind of strike while the iron's hot, so to speak. I think that after someone's just had an experience with you, after they've been to your clinic, they've got that positive experience still in their memory. I think it's good to do it pretty soon. So like I would say maybe like a couple of days after their visit, send them out an email saying, hey, we're just following up, just checking to make sure everything went okay with your treatment. If you've got any issues, any questions, please let us know. By the way, it would really help us if you left a review on our Google Business Reviews. Here's a link, and make it easy for them. Just give them the link so they can go directly there and leave a comment. So yeah, I think don't leave it too late, because otherwise people sort of like they forget about you and they forget about their interaction.
Yeah, to keep that positivity and funnel it into a review.
Yeah, and I think it doesn't hurt when you make the request, when you make the ask them to actually mention the service that they had with you. Like ask them if they would mind mentioning, like you gave them contact lenses, or you gave them a new set of frames or whatever, prescription sunglasses, because all of those phrases, all of those words that your patients leave in the review, they can become visible when somebody else searches. So if somebody else searches like prescription sunglasses near me, then there's a chance, if somebody left a good review about your prescription sunglasses, then there's a good chance that appears in the search results as well, which is good for you, of course. So if you can also, I think best practice would be to kind of prompt your patients to mention what it is, mention what service it was that they received from you.
Yeah, absolutely. And some people might be asking about APRA and reviews, and can we ask for reviews? And Google is one of the properties that we don't have control over. So as practitioners, we're allowed to ask for reviews on areas that we don't control, whereas other platforms like Facebook is a little bit different. So it tends to be more of a safer bet with Google. Would you agree?
Yeah, Yeah, that's actually a topic that I'm hoping we can talk about in a future interview. But that's a really good point. Yeah, I've read the advertising guidelines for the Optometry Board of Australia, and it does mention what you are and aren't allowed to do with reviews and testimonials. But it does say that, like, if somebody leaves a review on Google, then that's really kind of out of your hands. So, hey, lucky for you, right? There's nothing
Yeah,
much that you can do about that. So I think that is within the Google guidelines. What I think you have to be a little bit careful of, and this is a Google and conditions, is something called review gating. Okay, so you're not allowed to email all your patients and then only the ones who have nice things to say ask them, hey, can you leave a review, and not follow up with the ones who have had bad things to say. That's kind of against Google's terms and conditions. They don't want you to do that. But what I would say is that, like, the overwhelming majority of interactions with your business, I'm sure, are going to be positive ones. So you want to just get that volume of positive reviews coming through, that's going to be what pays dividends.
absolutely. Yeah, that'd be great. It'd be great to and talk more with you about reviews in another upcoming video.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So, Paul, at the start of the video, you mentioned that you are happy to have a look over our local search presence, our Google business profile.
Yeah.
Tell us more about what you're willing to offer for us.
Sure. Yeah. Well, so my agency, Optics Digital Marketing, which you can contact. Well, you can contact me through opticsdigital.net, and Lee's got the link for that. So what I can do is do a review of your Google business profile, and either I'll tell you what I think needs to be updated, or what needs to be optimized about it. Or if you're happy to give me access to your Google business profile directly, I can go in and do it for you. So I think there's a lot of low hanging fruit there that can easily be fixed and improved, that a lot of people aren't aware of. Like, for example, within the Google business profile, you get to choose, like, what category your business is listed for. Okay, there's a primary category, and most people do that. Or I think you have no choice. You've got to choose one. I think sometimes people don't choose the best category, and that means that they're going to miss out on potential. Well, their rankings aren't going to be as good as they otherwise would be. Another thing is that within those Google business profiles, you do have the ability to choose multiple secondary categories. And this is something that I've seen that the big chains are very good at, like the OPSMs and the Specsavers. When I look at their Google business profiles for their different stores, they've always got, like, heaps of secondary categories checked off. Unfortunately, a lot of the smaller independent guys, they have none, or just one or two secondary categories. So there's a really simple optimization fix that can be done right there, and that's just one example. There are other things as well. So if somebody feels like they're missing out on some opportunities, so I'm very happy to take a look at their Google business profile and either suggest what needs to be fixed or go in and do it for them. So, and that's a free service, no obligation at all.
Great. Yeah, that's very generous, Paul. Yeah, thank you very much. And thanks so much for these really valuable tips about how to improve our local search visibility on Google.
Yeah, my pleasure. Yeah, so it's something that I've sort of been interested in for a very, very long time, and I think that there's a really good opportunity there for all small businesses, including optometry businesses, because at the beginning of this we talked about the two options you've got with Google: the search engine optimization, or or the paid ads. And it can be, it's not for, paid ads are not for the faint-hearted. I think they are really good opportunity, but if you're just growing your business, if you're just getting started, I think that you're better to sort of put in the time and the work and be patient with organic SEO and try to get that long game happening. Try to build up content on your site, try to improve your rankings week after week, and I think that's probably the best way for people who are just starting new businesses to go.
Great. Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Paul, and we'll look forward to catching you in the next video.
Yep, looking forward to it. All right, thanks, Slade.